So, Shane, it's been a up and down season, as usual at Watford. Multiple managers, as usual at Watford. Let's start off Liverpool at home. It was a great start to the season, wasn't it?
It was a good start to the season. Remember that game, obviously, it's my first ever fan cam here. An entertaining game as well, 3-3. So many signs of positivity. I think you probably get there if you watch back my fan cam. How many times I mentioned the word positive in that? It was decent because I think, as I say, I saw a lot of creativity. Things were obviously different. You know, we'd come from Walter the Clown to Marco the Halo God.
He was going to be the one. He was going to be the one.
He was the one.
The pressing was great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then we looked good. And then obviously, kind of moving on, we were unbeaten away from home, weren't we, for large parts of that season. You know, West Brom away, obviously.
Limbs. Swansea away.
Oh, Richarlison. Bloody hell, that was.
We got to talk about players like Richarlison, new signings, Carrillo. They really seemed to hit the ground running, didn't they?
Was just absolutely brilliant. I think for a very long time I was looking at him thinking this is probably one of the best players I've seen in a Watford shirt in a very, very long time.
Considering he'd spent a whole season in Brazil as well and come straight here.
Yeah. And he'd been able to adapt, and you know, I think you look at maybe Richarlison's early season form, you contrast that with someone like maybe like Andre Gray, who's been a seasoned Premier League striker week in, week out with Burnley. He just hasn't settled. I still think he's in the mindset of settling down, and I don't think he's actually done that. I think he's run out of time this season to do so. And
Troy Deeney was obviously injured as well, so it was Akaka and Gray were our two options.
It's a funny story actually. I didn't actually realise Troy Deeney was injured until about 3-4 weeks ago when thinking about the season. I thought, hang on a minute, how come he wasn't playing those games? I thought he was out of favour with Silva. Didn't actually realise he was injured, and you know that. Look, a lot of fans will discuss this over the summer, and I'm sure it'll be the talking point of a lot of fans, you know, and it's been a very tough season for Troy. And you know, his form's not been on it. I think you've got to be totally honest with him and be like, this season I've noticed, and look, in other seasons I think under Mazzari I really did back him. I backed him so much. I backed him all throughout his career. I absolutely love the man. But this season, looking at some of his performances, looking at the attitude he's had in certain games, like the Stoke City game here, getting sent off like that, it was absolutely disgusting what he did to Joe Allen. And I know it's Joe Allen, and I know it's Stoke City, but you don't do that. Huddersfield, I thought the sending off there was harsh, but some of his games this season, I've looked at him and he's been more about getting in the ref's ear, chatting to those centre-backs, trying to get in their heads. He needs to be focusing on his own game.
Do you think this has come from also what he said in the media? So He's done some interviews this year, but then the main one we got to talk about, and it kind of coincides with how we're going throughout the season, Arsenal at home. Cajona's comments. I spoke to Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV at the FBA's about it. He said, look, he's already said it before to Robbie, the season before, that Arsenal didn't have any balls, and they kind of proved it.
A lot of Arsenal fans are very, very fickle, though, in that respect, because it's all right if it's okay if, I don't know, an ex-Gunners legend like Robert Pires or Thierry Henry were to mention it in a Sky Sports studio. But when Troy Deeney comes and says it, oh no, so all of a sudden Troy Deeney's well out of line, and what's Troy Deeney done with his career? I think Troy was right to say that. Should he have said it on BT Sport after the game? No. I don't think he should have done.
Kind of set us up as well.
No, it set us up, but we went on a slump after that. And it was this comments that came out to bite him on the arse, and it's just the way things are. I think with Troy, I think, you know, I read his match day columns, or you know, every week. He's very honest. He's very brutal. He has opinions about other things outside of football. You know, he's the kind of guy where you can have a chat with him about players that you rate, players that you hate. All well and good, but guess what? You're still a player. You're not a pundit. You know, you're not. You don't have the luxury of sitting in a radio studio or doing a phone-in or sitting on Match of the Day. And I know he's done Match of the Day this season. He's done a few of those Match of the Day 2 kind of interviews. Yeah. And that's all well and good, and he can do those. That's fine.
The most honest man in the Premier League?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But it has affected him on the pitch.
It has affected him on the pitch, you know. At the end of the day, all right, I've been very much on his side, as I've said. This season I've been on the fence. I've got splinters up my backside because I've seen him on one side, the positive, and I've seen the negative side of things as well with him. As a lot of fans have said, I would have no problem with him saying any of this stuff if he was banging in 15, 20 goals for us in the season. He's not done that this year. He has simply not done
Scored 5.
He scored 5 goals, and how many of them are 2 were from open play? That's disgraceful. as our captain, disgraceful. His discipline hasn't been good enough either.
Missed 2 penalties as well.
Missed 2 penalties, yeah, and all the Arsenal stuff as well, and, you know, Arsenal fans and all that.
Let's move on now. So it gets to around Christmas time. We get the usual Christmas time sub. It's what, Everton away, Brighton away. I thought was terrible as a game on the whole, and then the whole Marco Silva thing. Let's talk about Marco Silva because it's end of season. We've got to go.
Do you guys have a bucket anywhere? I'm going to be sick. There's obviously been a lot of talk about him, hasn't there, within like the last couple of days or so, with like the Everton job and all that, and Everton are now, you know, going to sue Watford for this, and Watford are going to do that, and
points deductions.
It's been absolutely, it's been a mess. It's been an absolute mess. I will never understand for the life of me why Marco Silva thought he was good enough to leave Watford mid-season. I will never ever understand that. What have you gained by doing that?
It's Everton as well.
What have you gained? Yeah, it is Everton. You're not even the best fucking team in Merseyside. You know, fucking hell, Tranmere reached a bloody final last week and they managed to win. What the fuck have you won? You know, and I'm being honest, all right, because Silva could have stayed this season, furthered his managerial credentials. He could have been fucking fire for us this season.
I'm sure also
amazing.
I'm sure also at end of season we would have seen him off to a bigger club with our well wishes. Yeah, if we guided us to that top half finish we were looking for.
Now it looks like he's going to go to Everton, and the Z-Cars derby has added some. It's got some bite to it now.
Now the Marco Silva derby.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. The less said about Silva, the better.
Yeah.
I think when you're looking at a season after Silva left, I'm happy Gracia came in. I will always be thankful for him.
Let's talk about that. We're here at the Rookery the day after he's been sacked in the morning. We've appointed Gracia in the evening.
I know.
The owners, again, you've got to compliment them. They know they're doing their stuff behind the scenes straight away. And
that was a very, very weird day, I must admit, because I came back from Leicester away on the Saturday. I was fucking pissed, man. I got up in the morning, it's snowing outside that morning, checked Twitter, and someone was like, Marco Silva's been sacked. I'm like, really? Okay, all right. I let it go for a bit. Went for a shower, came back out again.
He's been appointed manager.
I was like, whoa, shit.
Long shower.
It was a long shower. Shut up. No, but in all seriousness, fair fucks to the Pozzos. We're changing up their regime by not firing a manager. Usually, during the season, they did it. They did it for the good of this football club. And I love what Scott Duxbury said in that fans forum when asked about Marco Silva. I think the less said about that, the better.
Yeah.
That's the right way to handle things. We move forward. I'll always be grateful for Javi for coming in, for changing things up for us.
We've got to allow him. We've got to allow him Southampton in the FA Cup because he had prepared the team. Holebas kicked off.
No. Forget about that. That wasn't his problem. However, Chelsea here at home.
Quality.
That was his problem. Oh yeah, he was good at that.
Were you there before talking to someone from like a big Instagram company or whatever to going through the football? All of us predicting losses. All of us saying, look, Chelsea have got us.
When I saw the team, I saw was it Wargate centre back?
No, it was Holebas centre back alongside Cabaselli and someone else.
Really, really worried about that game, but that last 10 minutes or so, we really changed it up. It was so refreshing to see us actually go for it. De La Feu was on fire.
Best game at the Vic since Leicester. Better than Leicester? Just because of the team we're playing against?
I don't think you can put Leicester in that list. Leicester is in a separate category in the heavens and will never ever be touched. For me, it will never be touched. That game was better than the 3-0 though against Liverpool for me.
Yeah.
I think so.
Just everything came together.
In my top 3 games here at the Vic, definitely. I don't know what the other game would be really, but that was a standout moment. However, we need to look at our away form and address that.
I was going to come to that.
We haven't won a game in 2018.
No, one point is it? One goal.
One goal.
Andre Gray.
Amazingly.
0-0 draw away at Stoke, giving us our only point.
I mean, honestly, you really could not write the stats for that, could you? I mean, that needs to change, and I think it's some of those things. I've noticed Javi's been very rigid.
Is he very cautious as a manager, do you think?
Very cautious. I just don't think he's got the ability to change things up when he has to. He can see 2 up top work, so why are you lumping Troy up front? Troy can only win and do so much. He's not the most mobile of players.
He needs a partner.
Andre Gray, you put him up front there. We saw it against Newcastle. He's getting crowded out by a lot of those defenders. You put him up top against Spurs, and Tongan, and whoever the other bloke was, Sanchez. That's not about heading the ball clear, had him under wraps. You need to be playing 2 up top, and that has been one of the most frustrating things about this season. on the basis that we've not played 2 up top. Okaka's just a waste of space.
Do you think, though, if we're going to play
honestly.
that formation with 3 in the middle, we do have 3 good midfielders to utilise in the middle?
Yeah, we do.
Is it about now looking forward into the transfer window, which I'm going to move on to? Is it about looking and buying a striker that will suit that formation?
Do you know what, mate? Hand on heart, I'm not confident about this transfer window. I'm not.
Why?
Because of a certain bloke called Filippo Giraldi. Now, he came out in January chatting shit, being like, oh, our squad is okay. Our squad is fine. Really? You really?
No, it's not. It's
Really?
not.
Left back Holebas, do you think that's okay? I'm not confident because he gave the squad its backing. Now, is he going to actually put the money towards this squad? Is he actually going to make those changes?
Duxbury said they'd only had a few areas they were going to only spend in summer, and it wasn't going to be a massive overhaul. I remember that much from the fans conference. That doesn't fill you with confidence?
It fills me with absolutely zero confidence, because are we going to bring in the defenders that we need? We need minimum, I think, in this team.
How many players?
Goalkeeper, because Karnesis I don't think is sticking around. Left back, need another centre back. Right back I think we could maybe get away with until Jan. Kiko starts, Yanmat on the bench, and pray Kiko doesn't get injured. Midfielders I think will be alright. All depends on Doucouré.
Maybe a winger?
He goes. Yeah.
Because I think we've got enough in the middle when you have Cleverley, Hughes and Chalobah.
I would say 2 wingers and at least 2 strikers. The 2 areas that are crucial, if I had to pick 2 areas, striker, left back. Left back, we've been murdered on that side. Murdered. Holebas. I mean, this guy signed a 2-year deal, so he's going to be around the club for at least 2 more years. Or at least another
Is
season.
it okay, though, to keep him then in the bench and reserves if we sign another left
I prefer
back?
to not see him again, because if he's on the bench, there's a chance he'll fucking come on now in our injury crisis. And can you imagine we sign this new left back, everyone's raring to go. Yes! Everyone's happy to go. Yes! 2 minutes in, he's on the fucking ground. And I see Holebas warming up. I will cry. I will cry. I mean, no, that is not happening. I think up front there's going to be a lot of change, a lot of speculation about Troy's future. I hope he stays for 1 more season. I can't see him going.
Not going to be the main striker, though, is he?
Well, we'll all see, won't we? A lot of people's talking about Penaranda maybe coming back. Mate, the paperwork's got to be signed for that. That's not even been done yet. And we know what this club's like with paperwork, don't we? Yeah, you know, all these work permits that we can't seem to get. You know, what's to say Penaranda won't come back? Gray looks like he could well be off. Cardiff are coming in for him.
Would you sell to Cardiff for 5 million?
Yeah, I would. Bring in someone else. Gray's done here.
Doucouré and Richarlison gone?
Lukaku's going to go. Bring in 2 strikers. 2 strikers that actually score goals and can actually play together. And for the love of God, actually find someone who's got a fucking first touch. We can't have that. We cannot have that. If 2 up top's the way forward, and you want to start Troy, bring him in a proper striker. Derby have failed to make it to the Championship, and I know who I'm looking at in that team. The sexy Czech prince. Oh yeah.
Matej Vidra, he
do you know
means. He
what?
means
Do you know
Matej
what?
Vidra.
Yeah, come on guys. No. But in all seriousness, he's proven himself in the Championship. We didn't give him a fair crack here. Give him another go. With Troy up front. That is, I think, maybe a last resort.
What, Troy and Vidra together?
No, it's a last resort to sign Vidra for me. We need to be looking elsewhere.
So, finally, little summary at the end. Has it been down to injuries, or is there a lot of things wrong at this club at the moment?
I think there are a lot of things wrong. I don't think you can blame the injuries single-handedly. Injuries are injuries, yes, so. Lots of clubs have injuries throughout the season. They're able to replenish their teams. There seems to be something about us here that we crumble. You can't just say it's injuries that are the problem. Look at the amount of games we fucked up this season. I've not even discussed all of those in our season. Palace away.
We need an hour-long podcast.
We need a podcast to address all of that shit, right? Away to Palace, home to Swansea, to name a few. Away to Huddersfield. We're on track for a point. We just let things go. You know, it's. Look, I will round off by saying this. On the pitch this season, frustrating as fuck. First half of the season, brilliant. Second half, completely it was a cock-up. Apart from maybe 1 or 2 games, like the Chelsea game at home. It's been great. Off the pitch, with this fan channel, absolutely fucking brilliant. I have loved every minute of doing this, seriously. And I will remember this season for the managerial changes, for me crying after the Swansea game. And I will also remember this season for doing this channel. I've absolutely loved it. So, that is the end of season, lads. That's the end of season. Have a good summer, guys. Come back here in August. Yeah!